So, welcome to Leicester Fan TV, the match preview for probably one of our biggest home games of the season. First v second place, Leicester v Ipswich. Going to be an interesting match, going to be a fun one. Let's get into it.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content, like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live. Thanks to our sponsors, Everards, Hollogram, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hollogram, Take Me, Newby Co, and the Foxes, Arms and Rainbows. We are live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, so welcome to Leicester Fan TV, Reedy. Big game tonight, Ipswich at home. A very crucial match. I think we'll start off with some key talking points. Number one, Reedy, I'm going to point this out. This man here has officially left us. His loan spell has ended. Chelsea have recalled him back to Chelsea. What I know me and you probably collectively aren't his biggest fan. What do you make of the situation, considering Dewsbury Hall could be injured tonight and Diddy is definitely injured tonight? How are we looking to shape up in that attacking midfield?
Well, there is a few different players we can play there. Obviously, they're not their actual positions, if you'd say what players have positions-wise. But I think you'd say there is a few players that can perform in that role. Obviously, you've got Atgun, you've got, again, like you say, you've got Dewsbury Hall if he's fit. You've got Pratt if he's fit. I'd say that he has to be in that squad today if Dewsbury Hall isn't there. And then you've obviously got players who are going to be out of position, like Ricardo. You've got maybe even Chowdhury, but I wouldn't say that. And then you've maybe got McAteer, which can probably perform in that role, but you probably need him on the right.
Yeah, we've had a discussion about who comes into which position. Obviously, main man himself, Jamie Vardy, is fit and will probably be in and around that team some way tonight. He's come back from training and obviously maybe a little bit rushed back into the team, but due to injuries, really, do you see him making a feature tonight, or do you see him even starting?
Well, it's here or there. You've got Cannon and you've got Vardy. Now we've got two strikers. It's going to be a rotation game, isn't it? With the next couple of games in, I think 3 in 1 week. So it's going to be switched around at some point. Do we start Vardy tonight against a big opposition who is second in the league or third, but on the same points as second? I probably would. As much as I'd say Cannon at the moment is probably the better striker, I think for a bigger game, maybe Vardy is key for this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to throw this in the pot. I think Cannon and Vardy are both going to start tonight with Dewsbury. I'd say probably. There's been, Enzo did say last Thursday or Friday in his press conference that, so we'll get you commenting up in a minute, Phil, that Dewsbury is a doubt for the game. I think you can see Cannon fill that spot and Vardy go up top, because I am a bit concerned now with Castaday back to Chelsea, who fills that attacking midfielder role. And obviously, we all hope Dewsbury is fit for the game, but you never know. We're all probably not going to know until 7 p.m. when the team news comes out. And like Phil has said, I can get his comment up here, feels like it's a must-not-lose game tonight. And I'll be relieved if we win. I think we've had the discussion leading up to the game, really. I'm concerned. I think a lot of fans are concerned. I don't think we're going to win today. I think we're very, injury prone.
Oh, is that a negative? Is that a negative thought, Sam?
I'd say it is a negative comment. I don't know if I'd say we lose, but I don't think we're going to beat them tonight. Just because I think you're going to see a really different team, and just because of due to injuries, obviously Fatal, who's out on the right wing for a few more games after this one, even because of his straight red card. I think we're in a bit of a position where Ipswich couldn't have an attack and reading. We were saying last week we could have been 13 points clear of them. If we lose tonight, we could be 4 points clear of them. That there's a big 9-point gap difference after us dropping points and Ipswich picking up some points. What do you think about tonight's game? It's got to be a must-win, surely, for us to keep at the top.
See, I was saying earlier before we went live that I'm actually starting to get worried now. Obviously, Southampton are getting closer and closer. They've been unbeaten in 21 games now. They are chasing. We all thought it would be Ipswich that was chasing us because they've been so close the last couple of weeks. But now it's Southampton are getting points after points after points. It's even harder to try and see us actually getting the top spot right now. Obviously, yes, if we win tonight, it's going to be 10 points clear still. But we're not on a run like Southampton have been. We get a few wins here or there, we'll get a draw here or there, and then we'll lose. They're unbeaten in 21 games, and if they keep going, they will eventually catch us up because we will lose a game here or there. That's the difference. So for me tonight, it is a must-win to keep that points gap high. But if you lose it, Ipswich are only, 7 points, maybe even less points away from us. So it is a big game tonight, and that's why I think we should be starting our best team as we possibly can do.
Yeah, I mean, really, with all the injuries out, I have seen a few people say, like Craig here, he won't do it, but if we're struggling in midfield, why not do 4-4-2?
No chance. There's no. It's like Nick Mortis says a bit above where he says 4-4-2. Even I'm laughing. I must admit, at the start of the season, I was always asking for it to be changed, but we know it's not going to be. We know Enzo, we know his style, we know his system. Even if we go up, it's going to be the same style. I'm not going to be surprised if it doesn't change. So we're not going to change that. I get you're saying about maybe putting Cannon in that.
I'm just going to argue here that the way we played against, who did we just lose to? Coventry, 3-1 when we got a red card. We tried to implement the same style with a player down, and look at where that got us. We were still trying to be more defensive, obviously with a player down.
I don't think we even tried at that point, though. When we went one player down, I think we literally just didn't care about the system. We just defended.
No, we played the same system, though, because as soon as Fatawi got injured, we brought on McAteer on the right wing. So for me, that's, we were holding the same shape with a player less. I do not think in a situation where we got more injuries tonight, and if Drewsbury is injured, do you not think we should really be changing up the formation? We don't have to change up the style, but do you not think it's a bit risky to have two attacking midfield players when we don't have any attacking? Because if you look at who is available, Pratt, I wouldn't say is an out-and-out attacking midfielder. Atkin was also not. I struggle to see who fills that role if Drewsbury is out injured, and I think we would just be a bit like we did against Coventry, playing players out of position for not much of a point. Then we could just change around a few different players and maybe implement a different formation, because we could still do the passing around the back. And I understand obviously when we don't have the depth, but for me this is the real killer move that good managers make, where they assess that we've not got the players to play in the same formation, so we have to change around to suit who we do have. For me, if I see obviously the players in the team lineup and they're, we're playing the same style, I'll be like, well, why is, X, Y, and Z in that position? Because again, like I said, someone's going to be playing out of position. 2 or 3 players are probably going to be playing out of position if we implement the same style of football. But
then I'd say to you, isn't Ndidi when he plays in that role out of position? I know obviously he's been better in that role, but his role isn't a creative attacking
I
mid.
would agree. Yeah.
And that's where, for me, I'm not going to slate someone like Atgun. The first couple of games I saw him, I actually thought he was decent in that role. He needs more consistent game time in that role, but I don't think we will be struggling as much as I think we will be. Obviously, yes, we've lost Dewsbury Hall if he doesn't start tonight. Yes, we've obviously lost Ndidi, who is probably the number 2 in that role, but we've still got players who can play there. Again, I think you'd even say you'd rather have Atgun in over Cassidy if you had him. That's what I'm saying. I think you even said in your last tactics talk that you wanted Atgun over Cassidy, even though we knew we wanted to have it.
I do think there's arguments to be made of who goes into the attacking midfield. I just think it's very scarce at the moment. I think we are.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's only a few choices you can make.
And like I said, I know. I wasn't Cassidy's biggest fan, and I thought he actually was okay against Coventry, to be honest with you. But I mean, we'll pull up Trevor's comment here. Why is everyone worried about the Saints? We smashed. I mean, that was at the start of the season,
and they weren't even in good form then.
After that, they are coming up close. Really, if they were to win their fixture. I don't know when they're playing. Is it tonight or tomorrow?
No, they
I
already
don't know if
played
they've
their
already
game.
But we've got the big match of first v second, and this is where we slip away because Ipswich, past 5-10 games, they're showing that they're not going to have the depth to keep going, and obviously they're doing very good for a team like Ipswich, and I can see them making playoffs. But the teams like Southampton and Leicester is really the pinnacle of who's going to go up.
I'm not saying that we're not going to get the top spot still. What I'm saying is, consistency-wise, they are in a way better consistent form than we are. We win 3 or 4 games here or there, we draw a game and then lose a game. They've been unbeaten in 21 games. If they keep going, they will catch us at some point. Because if we lose one tonight, they've only 7 points clear of us, not even less, maybe even less. So we just got to make sure we're on our top game and we start winning games instead of losing any. Because the more we lose, the more chance they're going to catch us.
Yeah, I agree with you to like the extent of Southampton have got a very good team and they're doing very well in the league. We've just got to hold on to keep getting consistent points. Obviously, we're allowed to win games here and there. Obviously, we've not drawn many. I don't know how many have we drawn, 1 or 2?
2.
Not many we've drawn this season.
Southampton have drawn 7.
So that is where the reason we're top is because we'll lose, the odd 2 or 3 games, which I think we've lost about 3, 4, 5 this season. But then we make it up by winning all the others and not drawing. I just think Ipswich tonight is very crucial because really we could be
10 points clear.
10 points clear or 4 points clear. And I know it's still like we are clear still, but it's when it starts to build up. Obviously, hopefully the players are ready to go and attack them again because it was a mess up against Coventry. And really, I don't know if we have the photo, but I'm going to try and find it. Do we have a Maresca one?
We don't at the moment. No.
We don't, right? But anyway, Maresca is not going to be on the touchline for tonight's match. So,
and I think that's a massive key part because as much as he doesn't really he obviously can't do much on the pitch. He's there to tell them what to do, and when he's not there, the players have already got to think for themselves. Because as much as the system's in their brains now, he's obviously there to help them when they're not sure what they're doing. So
I'm sure that in today's world of football,
no, I get it. I'm not saying the manager has to literally spoon feed them what they're doing.
No, but I'm sure that there's earpieces and microphones. Yes. I'm sure that regardless if Enzo's up in the stands watching, I'm sure he's got a little earpiece in talking to the assistant coach.
Oh, of course,
Willie Caballero, I think that is, isn't it?
No, that's the. I don't think it's an assistant. I don't know that's an assistant coach. No.
I thought he was the assistant coach. Anyway, it's a big game, really, obviously, coming up tonight. Who do you think is going to be the standout player for Leicester that should be starting today? Who's, earned their place in a team of a lot of injuries? Who do you think is going to be the one that's guaranteed in that team?
Well, obviously, you could say Vestergaard, you could say Faze, you can say obviously Hermanson because he's in there every single week. But I think a player that for me has to be in there tonight is Callum Doyle. I honestly think out of the 2, yes, JJ's done very well since he's been injured, but now he's back. I think we've seen glimpses of what we needed to win games at the start of the season. He was the key part in putting balls into the attack. He can defend better. He's a better defender. Yes, he might not be as fast on the wing back, but when he's in that back line, I think for me he is solid, and I think that's where we need him. And I think you said a few weeks back or even a week ago, that we could maybe purchase him from Man City.
Yeah, there's obviously been talks about Doyle coming to Leicester on a permanent deal. A lot of fans saying Man City wouldn't sell him, but if the money's right, I'm sure we could offer a 15, 20, 25 million pound bid, and they would probably take it, really. I agree with you to the extent I think Doyle is an all-round better player for the system we want to than Justin. Don't get me wrong. I love Justin, but he is a right or left wing back. He attacks and then defends on the counter. Doyle is someone that will sit back, wait, let them come to him and then tackle the ball and create the space up top. And I think Justin lacks that in his game a little bit more.
The only thing he's got better than Doyle for me is the pace side.
Yeah, but again, in our system where
you don't need
Justin has been sitting back, and I don't get me wrong, I think he's a good player in a better system. I don't trust him almost to be defending, and against Ipswich, they're obviously, I guess you'd say they're notorious for winning in the last minute, and that's kind of it has been in the past.
Kryptonite,
where we lose and we concede in the last minutes when we do lose those games. But obviously we've scored a lot of goals in the last 15 minutes. Really, I do struggle to see if Dewsbury is out where the goals are going to come from tonight. Again, we don't know about the team. We've said Dewsbury, he's been told that he's a doubt, but we don't actually know if he is or is not in the team. Really, I think we've talked about a lot of things that could and could not happen tonight. We obviously talked about a lot of different players, Cassidy leaving. We'll mention a little bit about Sensei could be joining us from Inter Milan.
Yeah.
I don't know how trustworthy this deal is. Obviously, Fabrizio has tweeted about it, which is a pretty reliable source in today's world. Do you think we're going to sign him in the next week before the window ends? Because this time next week, this time in 8-9 days, next Tuesday is going to be cut-off day. And do you see us bringing anyone in to the club?
I think Sensei will. I think Sensei will come in. Don't know when or how, because I still don't know if we're actually possible. Is actually a possibility to bring him in without selling anyone. But from what Fabrizio said, the moment we let Cassidy go, that we are going to go for him. So hopefully he comes in, because I think that's the sort of player we need to either as backup or even in the main 11, because I think that's what we need. He's a good passer on the ball from what I've seen. So just get him in. A 2 or 3 mils price tag on him, you might as well snap it up, because he can't be any worse. He can't be any worse than some of the players we've got. So
we definitely need a new attacking midfielder, really, and I would argue we definitely need one before January. I'm surprised that we've not sold a lot. We've heard a lot of rumours of Danny Ward to Sheffield United. I've heard a handful of rumours of Suter to the Saudi League, believe it or not. Again, one of those players where he never quite made it, but he's on a hell of a lot of money. I find this weird, really. We signed a Championship player playing for Stoke City, who were at best a bottom 8 team in the Championship at the moment. Yet we've given him 40 grand a week contract for 5 years.
Well, I think when we first brought him in,
but in a relegation season, which is what we were last season, that was a bad move, and now we can't get rid of him. Such as the likes of a lot of players where we can't.
I think when we brought him in, I think it's what we needed, as in a player to try and keep us up. And that was the only shape of the matter. Obviously, we brought Christensen in as well for that. It just didn't work. But now we've got a new manager and a new system in. They just don't. Both of them just don't fit in. So it's really just unfortunate that.
Yeah.
They've just lost their place due to.
Yeah, I understand
management.
I understand that they probably don't suit the style as well as other players. But at the moment, really, players like Suter and Ward, who are collectively on about 80, 90 grand a week, which is, I mean, God forbid I tried to do maths live. What's that? 3-4 million a year for 2 players? Correct me if I'm wrong.
And that's the money for Sensei. There you go.
That's a lot of wages where that are still in the club that are going into players that are never going to play for Leicester again, unless shock horror, massive accidents and incidents and injuries happen. Bring up Curtis' last comment before we do talk about score predictions. Cassidy was loan. He's not been sold, so he still can't bring in Sensei. That's what I've been saying, is because Cassidy was only a loan player, and if it is due to FFP, how much of Cassidy does that really affect FFP? Because from what we've read and rumours, that he was on around 20 grand a week and we were paying half his wages.
Well, it might be just because of the squad space. Obviously, we let Iverson go on loan. We brought back Thomas, so that's still, there's no space there. Now Cassidy's gone, there's a spot there. That's maybe a reason why we've said we need to let people go. But it all depends on money-wise, if we can afford him. Because if not, then we can't buy him. But if it just means buy the squad space, then yes, we can.
Yeah, I'm just bringing up this comment. Why is Albrighton still dragging a wage? I think that's a bit of a harsh comment for a Premier League winner. I think if anyone deserves a decent wage, it would be Albrighton. Obviously, he's going to go in summer. Really, I mean, we can bring on to that. Fatawa without injured. Would you like to see Albrighton start today? I think I would over McAtee.
I think if Cannon starts up front, I think Albrighton would be perfect up there, because he can put the balls into Cannon. Obviously, Vardy isn't that much of a big man up front with the headers, but someone like Cannon, I think, would be perfect. So if I had the choice of that right wing spot, I think you would give it to Albrighton over McAtee, because when I saw McAtee come on against Coventry, yes, again, we were 10 men, but I just don't think he's ready in a way. Obviously, he did well at the start of the season, but not recently.
Yeah, I just want to bring up this comment. If it wasn't for FFP, he'd been already. Well, Mike, I would like to let you know it is Leicester City Football Club's board of directors who thought let's sign Smithies from Cardiff on a 20 grand a week contract, and I don't think he's ever played for Leicester City. So, the people that do sign these players are notorious for making bad decisions at times. And
you say that, but the thing is as well, he says if it wasn't for FFP, you could get Mbappe to the club. But
yeah, well, anyway, really, there's a lot of if, buts, and maybes at the moment. A lot of players who want out. Not many players that want in as of right now. Only one injury-prone player from Inter Milan that could be something good. I mean, last time we signed a player from Inter Milan was Cambiasso.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
So, he could help us. And I do think we need an attacking midfielder, especially with Castellet gone. Really, I'm going to end it here. I'm going to ask you a final question. Score prediction for tonight. An honest score prediction of what you think the result is going to be at the end of the match.
2-1.
2.
Leicester. I think the problem is with Ipswich, when they go a goal behind, they always seem to win. And that's the issue. For me, I want them to go ahead and then we score 2. Because, again, if we score 1, I have a feeling they're going to win 2-1 because they have that knack of winning games from behind. So it is what it is. I'd take a 2-1. I'll take any sort of win, even if it is a 1-0 or a 4-4 or 4-3. Again, it could be either way tonight. And like Phil says earlier in his comments, that it's just a must not lose, is it? So
yeah, I've been quite. I don't know what the word.
You're going to say Ipswich, aren't you?
I think Ipswich. I think I said earlier last week that we're due for a thumping this season. I don't think we've had one yet. And
everyone's going to be looking at you in a minute.
Yeah, I know, but I think...
Are you going to go for like a 4-0 Ipswich?
I could see it happening. I'm not going to predict that because I want to keep it fairly, common. But if we do get thumped, come back to this, because I've got a feeling we're due for a little bit of a, coming back down from cloud 9 back to reality, because we have been running it. And again, really, this is actually one thing I think. Dewsbury's comment post-match Coventry, he said, let them have their day. We're still top of the league. That, for me, is a very cocky attitude for a team that just lost 3-1. I hope that kind of mentality isn't what we're installing into the club of we're top, let's just roll with it. Because I do think we need to be consistent. We do need to be, winning these games. Obviously, the Ipswich and that, they're not massive games, but teams like Coventry, really, we should have been beating. Obviously, the red card was unfortunate, but I hope that kind of cocky mentality isn't what's being installed at the moment around the club, because I think it's what we need to avoid. It's kind of what the mentality we had last season. Obviously, that infamous James and Maddison tweet about us, play like that and we'll be fine. Lo and behold, we weren't fine. But, I'm going to say 2-2. I don't think we're going to win, but I don't want to say we're going to lose. But if we do get thumped,
You said it there first.
I said it here for her. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Obviously, it's been an interesting talk. A few hours before the match, about 7 hours before kickoff now. We'll see you down at the ground. Obviously, we're going to be there probably doing our shows post-match. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, Everards, Barlow Blinds, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hollogram, Take Me, Newby Co, The Fox's Arms and Rainbows. Run by the fans, for the fans. Follow us on socials at Leicester Fan TV and visit leicesterfantv.com for all the latest news, views and videos.